Animal Crossing New Horizons has blessed us with so many new features that the game is absolutely brilliant, but even harder to fault. Now, being a member of the franchise for over 15 years now, I can't help but reminisce on some of the features that are nowhere to be seen in the game anymore. So, I've put a little video together today to kind of walk you through my ideas and what I would love to see implemented into New Horizons in a following update or something, or things that I just really do miss from the old games, because no doubt if you've played some of the older games in the franchise, then you'll miss them too. Welcome back to PhenomenalTV, and today I'm going to be showing you all of my thoughts towards some of the features which I would love to see brought back into New Horizons. Now, just a disclaimer, this is all my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, I don't have to agree with you. Let me know down below what your opinion is, and please don't get offended by my opinion, because I know some of you are proper fucking snowflakes. So please just enjoy the video, let me know what your favourite idea would be to bring back, or something that you miss from the older games. And without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So the first thing that I'm going to say, terraforming. Terraforming is probably one of the greatest features that I love about New Horizons. It's absolutely amazing. You can change your island to whatever you want it to be like, and it's completely new territory for any member of the Animal Crossing franchise. And one of the things that I've done in my island, which you've probably done on yours, and you've probably seen people do it, I love making little jumping puzzles to get to a certain island or something that's suspended. My pet peeve with this, though, is just how long it takes to jump. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck's this guy going on about? It doesn't take very long at all. No, it doesn't. But in this day and age, with the amount of money that was spent on the game, and how long it's been in production for, you'd at least think the jumping would run a bit more smoother. It's kind of like the game just pauses. It just pauses there, and we've got to wait a split second for us to almost go into a jumping animation. It's just so frustrating. Why can't it just run so smooth like in Mario or something? Or like Pokemon when you're doing some of the jump puzzles in there. It's just so much smoother. And it's the same when you're jumping through the little gaps as well. You've got like a tree or something right on the edge of a cliff, and you've got to squeeze through it because there's not enough room. That takes a long time as well. Why isn't it just so smoother? I don't understand it. I know it's not massive, and it probably won't. It doesn't keep me up at night thinking about it. If it would, then I'd be worried for myself. But it's just something small that gets to me. I don't see why it's such a problem. It should be solved like that. Another great feature in New Horizons that I love. 2 new characters that have been introduced, which I think are absolutely phenomenal. We've got Flick, the red chameleon, and CJ, the beaver. These guys are absolutely phenomenal. Basically, if you're new and you don't know what they do, Flick will buy bugs off you for an extra 50% of what they're worth, and CJ will buy fish off you for, you guessed it, an extra 50% of what they're worth. This is a great way for players to be able to make money through hoarding fish and bugs and selling them to the respective character. Now, one thing that I love is how much the community comes together. Whenever Celeste is on someone's island, everyone goes over to see Celeste and get a DIY regarding the star sign line. Flick and CJ, when they were first introduced, everybody was going to each other's islands to sell bugs and fish. But one small issue, you can't sell bugs and fish to CJ or Flick when they're on somebody else's island. Why? This is something that is just so stupid. These guys come around about once a month, if that, probably longer. I got Flick on my island a few weeks ago, and I haven't seen him since. I sort of understand why. They are OP in regard to making money. You can make so much money off them with the extra 50% that they have, and the fact that they hang about until 4 AM in the morning is just phenomenal, really. So I can sort of understand it, but at the same time I feel like it would be a great way to socialise and get to know more people. You already see people on forums and pages saying, oh, I've got high turnip prices coming over, or I've got a meteor shower coming over. Imagine that. I've got Flick or I've got CJ on my island, come over. That would be a great way to make money through tips, to get to know more people. I really would hope that in the future updates they allow this, because that would be such a good thing. It feels like multiplayer is just a bit underwhelming at the moment. You can go to other people's islands and that's about it. You can't really do anything else. So I feel like I'm being an ungrateful fucker right now, because New Horizons has given us a great new feature in the sense that we can dig up trees, we can smash rocks and move them wherever we like. I feel like that is absolutely brilliant. But my main pet peeve with this is how long it takes to eat the fruit. It takes so long. Normally, when someone wants to move trees, it's part of a big project. So they're going to eat lots and lots of fruit all in one. This implying that when they eat fruit, they're going to be eating 10. Now, if you have ever tried this and you're an impatient bastard like me, then you know for a fact it takes quite a while. Sitting there spamming A just really grinds my gears and gets on my nerves. Me personally, I think it would be a great idea if when eating fruit, when selecting the fruit, it would be a great idea to be able to eat 10 or eat 5 or select the amount of fruit that you want to eat. Simply because, so that when you are eating the fruit, you don't have to sit there for however long spamming A until you get RSI. Instead, you can just do one command where you eat all the required fruit that you need, and then it's all done and you're ready to go and dig up some trees. I feel like it would just save so much time. This game just feels really slow, which, yeah, I get it, it's not a fast-paced game, but when you're an impatient wanker like me, all you want to do is get your jobs done. You don't want to sit around all day spamming A just so that you can eat fruit, just to waste time. It's annoying, really. Hey guys, if you haven't already, I'd just like to say please do follow me up on social media. The links are down below in the description so that you can find them easy, and they're appearing at the top of the screen right now. So please do follow me up on there because I really appreciate it and it helps you keep up to date with my content. Another great feature which I am massively fond of is Home Designer. This has been the first main series game where Home Designer is actually included, and I love it. I think it is so useful that when you've got a whole load of items in your storage and you want to get them out, just tap down on the D-pad and you can just go into a Home Designer mode in the house. It is absolutely brilliant. It's so much easier to use. It's so much more efficient. You haven't got to push any items around. You haven't got to stand in a certain position just to throw the items out and get them where you want them to go. It is so helpful. What I would like to see, however, I know I have not given this any sort of thought, so I've got no idea how this would work, but I think it would be absolutely amazing to see some sort of exterior Home Designer. Not the exterior of the house, but the exterior of the island. So the overworld, I guess you'd call it, where you could go into a Home Designer mode and you could place items on your island wherever you like. You could move trees around providing you had the fruit. It would be absolutely phenomenal. The only thing I can think of, the reasons why Nintendo haven't done this, is simply because of that's part of the game. Part of the game is just going through the tedious process of having to dig up every tree, having to move things where you like. Building the paths is just so goddamn tedious. But at the end of it, when it looks absolutely phenomenal, like my island, you feel really wholesome. You feel like you've done a good job. Whereas I can imagine that if there was like a island designer, let's coin the term, then I feel like people just wouldn't really be that appreciative of islands, because it's like, oh, how long did it take you to do this? Oh, not long, just an hour on Island Designer. I like the idea of it, but then I feel like it would take the fun out of the game a little bit. I don't know. As you can probably tell, I haven't really given it much thought. So, one of my favourite things about New Horizons is they have doubled the amount of people that are allowed on one island at one time. It used to be 4 people, but it is now 8. It is absolutely phenomenal. You can really have big gatherings on your islands. I really do think this is a good feature in the sense that there are so many new things that are almost included in the game that it almost makes sense to have that many people be able to access your island at one time. For example, selling turnips. Whenever someone's crafting a DIY and you want to share the love with people. It's a fucking ice cream van. We're meant to be in quarantine. Sorry about that. The fucking ice cream van decided to come down. Anyway, where was I? So, DIYs. Whenever someone's making a DIY in your village, people may come over. What I'm trying to get at here is that you can easily find yourself in a scenario where there are lots of people within your island. This can be great because it is a great way to meet a lot of new people. But Not everyone in our community is nice. It may surprise you to find out that there are some wankers in our community. People that will destroy your island at your expense. People that will have fun doing this. How do you track them? Nobody knows, because you can't see where they are on the map. I think it would be a great idea to introduce some sort of marker system where the host or anyone on your island can see where everyone else is, either on the mini-map or on the map on your Nook phone. Being able to see where the other people are on your island is a great way to be able to monitor and censor what people are doing on your island. So yeah, I think markers would be just a phenomenal idea, really. Flowers are something which mean a great deal to me in Animal Crossing. I love them. I love being able to breed flowers. I love watering flowers. I love pretty much everything about the mechanics of flowers and how they work and the genetics. And one of the things which I'm not too happy about is the fact that flowers no longer die or wilt as it's coined in game. This was part of the older Animal Crossing games where if you didn't water your flowers at least once a day, they had a chance of wilting or dying where they turned brown, and if you picked them up then they just turned to nothing. This was a massive incentive to water your flowers in Animal Crossing, whereas now in New Horizons your flowers don't die, and I'm really sad about that. Now, flowers are just something which I love, really, and because they don't die anymore, it almost feels like watering them has become inadequate. There's no purpose to it. They're a lost cause. There's not much point to watering them anymore, because I have got to a stage now with my breeding of flowers where I'm happy. I don't want any more lilies. I don't want any more cosmos. I've got enough. So I just neglect them. I will never water them. Unless the rain waters them, then bitches ain't going to get water for days. You know, it's crazy. And I just think it's a proper letdown, because there's nowhere near of as much of an incentive as what there was in the older games. And another thing which I'm not too happy about is the way of getting golden roses now. It just doesn't seem too hard or too unique in a way. Golden roses were always unique in the sense that black roses had to die before you could then get them. Black roses had to die, for the record, so that you could then water them with a golden watering can and you'd bring them back to life as golden roses. This is how you got golden roses in the older games, whereas now, because flowers don't die, it just doesn't feel as unique anymore. If my pal Calvin can get golden roses in this game, then what's the point? What is the goddamn point? Another great feature which New Horizons has blessed us with is the idea to spawn a fish wherever we like. This being done by digging up manila clams, crafting them into fish bait, and then spreading the fish bait wherever you want that fish to spawn. My issue with this, though, is that whenever someone is looking for a fish which are rare and only spawn in a certain place, therefore, when digging up manila clams, people tend to dig up them in bulk. It isn't just a case of, right, I'll dig up 5, I'll craft 5, and then I'll bugger off and try and catch a fish. No. It is normally a case of, I'll dig up 50, and I'll craft 50, and then I'll dig up another 50. My issue here is that when it comes to crafting, the amount of time that you spend just sat there spamming A to craft fish bait is absolutely ungodly. Oh my Christ, I did it so much when catching a coelacanth. It was horrible. It was such a pain in the ass. It was hurting my thumb just sat there spamming A so I could craft 30 fish bait to then not catch a fucking fish. What I'd like to see change here, basically, instead of having to craft just 10 off the bat individually, have the option to craft as many as you want at a given time. Whether that's craft 30 straight up and it just takes the 30 out your inventory straight away, whether you can just craft 10 and it takes 10 out of your inventory. I feel like this would save people a lot of time and a lot of frustration. That would be an absolutely phenomenal option. We're on to my final idea. I have got so many different ideas that I could probably make like a 20-minute video just talking about this. I mean, this is probably going to end up being about 20 minutes knowing me. My point is I've got a lot of different ideas. But my final one, which I think is worthy enough to include in this video, diving. Diving was something that was introduced in New Leaf, and oh my god, it was absolutely amazing. It opened up doors to just a whole new plethora of creatures. Crustaceans, mollusks, it was absolutely phenomenal. You could dive down and find completely new creatures in the ocean that just weren't fish. It was really good just being able to dive into the sea of an island and just... But they've taken it out of New Horizons. Why do they do this? They implement really good features in the old games and take them out in the new games. It's absolutely shit. I really do hope that they bring diving back, because it opened up a whole new branch of the museum. It was something else to do. And the wetsuits as well. There were really rare wetsuits that you could get, and it was just amazing, really. And I really do miss it, because it was one of my favourite features of New Leaf. Hey guys, if you got to this part of the video, then thank you so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me, and it really does help the channel. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do like and subscribe. Click that little bell so that you know when I'm bringing out new videos. Whether you think my ideas are great in regards to what I've said today, or whether you think I'm a whiny bitch that misses New Leaf, please do consider subscribing, and please do also follow me on social media. All the links are down below, and they're also up there. Let me know down below what you think would be great in New Horizons that isn't already in it, whether that's something new that you thought of, or whether that's something from an old game which you would love to see brought back into New Horizons. I want to know what it is, so let me know down below. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.